Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Vignette to Vogue. This is vlog number 9. We're moving right along. But I want you to keep in mind things that we've talked about in the past, we will be talking about now in the future. So we talked about Women's History Month for March, or Women's Herstory Month. And also we talked about chinoiserie. So we're going to continue that theme a little bit for this particular vlog. This time we are talking about toile. So let's talk about what that is. But first, before we do that, I need you to subscribe. I need you to like all the videos and comment, because I really am trying to get my engagement up on YouTube. And so far, so good. I've been doing a really good job. You guys have really been helping me to achieve that goal, but I really, really need more of that. So when you're watching the video, keep in mind, as you're watching it, just hit that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. If you could leave a comment, that would be great. So let's get back to chinoiserie, which is what we talked about last vlog. So the image behind me, again, is in the style of chinoiserie. If you look at the potted artwork on the trunk table, it is like a geometric Chinese pottery form. And in this particular vlog, I attempted to recreate that through the top that I'm wearing. And also what I wanted to talk about today was toile de Jouy. So toile de Jouy is something that comes also from the French culture. And I'm going to put up a definition so you can take a look at what it actually translates into. But I want to talk about that in particular because I want to highlight another one of my Black woman interior design sheroes. Her name is Sheila Bridges. And currently, she has a collaboration with William Sonoma. And her toile de Jouy, but it's a Harlem toile de Jouy. So let's talk about the historical context of toile de Jouy. So historically, it was a fabric that was created in French provinces. And what Sheila Bridges did, she's an African-American woman from Harlem. She reinterpreted the provincial and pastoral scenes of toile de Jouy to include African-American experiences. So I think she has one scene where someone's playing basketball, another scene in the beauty shop. There's a picnic scene where she talks about eating chicken and watermelon. She really played with the stereotypes of African-American culture when she created her Harlem toile. So I wanted to incorporate a picture of her because she is one of my interior design sheroes. She is an inspiration for me. She is history in the making, or her story in the making, if you know what I'm talking about. And her design has now been interpreted in many different ways. So we have her traditional interior design fabric, which you can get to upholster furniture and bedding. But she also has the fabric that you can utilize to create garments. So this is Vignette to Vogue, right? So we always love to hear about scenarios where we can take an interior design aspect and turn it into a fashion aspect, and vice versa. Take a fashion aspect and make it an interior design aspect. So I'm going to include some imagery of collaboration she's had with regard to fashion. So in the very recent past, she had a collaboration with Converse where her Harlem toile was featured on Converse sneakers. She also had another collaboration where it was featured on some, I guess, shirts for men. I'm going to include those as well, so you can take a look at that, as well as the fabric just being available. And it's available right now. Her Harlem toile is available right now if you're interested in creating garments out of the fabric that is the Harlem toile. But if you follow her on Instagram, her name is Sheila Bridges. And the most recent collaboration is with William Sonoma. So I'm going to include some images of her work with William Sonoma. She has, I think it's napkins. There's also some like throw pillows, as well as serving trays and glasses that are featured in the Harlem Toile style. So we have our very own African American, if we can go as far to say, toile style that is inspired by Harlem and inspired by Miss Sheila Bridges. So please go and follow her, keep up with her, send her some support by purchasing some of the items that she has, because she is an innovator in the interior design scene with regard to the African American culture. And she has really taken some things that may not be presented in the most beautiful way with regard to African American culture and made them beautiful. So I've seen many images online where people have taken her Harlem Toile and they made it beautiful, or they have wallpapered their powder rooms or rooms in their home with that toile style. I'm going to feature some images of traditional Toile de Jouy, as well as the Harlem Toile de Jouy. And it's important to talk about her interpretation of it, because so many times in the interior design world, we don't see things that kind of embody the African American experience. So what she's bringing to the culture of interior design with regard to a centralization in African culture or African American culture is so important. And this is why she is actually history in the making. So years from now, when we're not here, people will be able to look at what she's created with regard to the Harlem Toile and like a Harlem Renaissance, if you will, for interior design and what we want to do here as African Americans. Further, I wanted to talk about my own history. So I'm doing my Vignette Vogue vlogs. I am creating my digital footprint here at Digital Impact Studios. And so this is a part of my herstory. So when I'm no longer here, and if people kind of Google me or look up Epiphany Interiors, they'll be able to see that I created something regarding interior design and fashion, which was my vision. We don't know where it's going to take me just yet, but we're all here at the beginning. And I just want to say I'm so grateful for all of the people who have supported me as I brought my vision forward, because this is my herstory. This is a part of my legacy, and this is a part of my digital footprint as I move forward in the world. So I want us to focus back in on the imagery behind us. So in one of my previous blogs, I talked about ikat, which is a Southeast Asian influenced design. The top that I'm wearing today is influenced by that. This is a print. This is not the true weaving process that it takes. It's almost like a tie-dyeing process. And I talked about it previously, and I'm talking about it again, and I'm going to highlight it in the future more intricately, because I want to make sure that we pay homage to the artisans that created it. But it's so much a part of interior design as well, and fashion. As you can see, this is the top, but I just utilized this top, which is in the ikat print, to reinterpret another Chinese or Asian inspired chinoiserie print, or the artwork and the pillows that you see on the image behind me, to kind of encompass the whole thing. So it really just goes to show that the influences are consistent. I promise you I'm going to do one specifically geared towards ikat. I was going to try to do it this time, but I felt like I was incorporating the toile de jouy, the chinoiserie. I didn't want to do the ikat too. So got a lot of terms to kind of get familiar with. So I want you to take a look at some of the imagery with regard to toile de jouy. with regards to Harlem Toile, and we'll just leave it right there for this particular vlog. And we'll take our time and we'll talk about ECAT. But we've been introducing it little by little. So just keep it in mind. We've talked about a lot of terms so far. We've talked about chinoiserie, ECAT. We've talked about color drenching. We've just been exploring some historical context with regard to interior design. So just stay with me. We'll continue to build on the knowledge that we have obtained so far. But I just wanted to take this time to thank you. Thank you for being a part of my history, my her story. March, again, is Women's History Month, and this is my contribution. I don't know what the future holds for me, but for right now, I feel really good about what I am trying to bring forward to the world. And I thank you for being a part of the process. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.
That ECAT top picks up all the colors in the pillows, the florals, and the vase. I think we missed an opportunity for a belt here though. Check out those chandelier earrings and that chandelier lighting. We have on our white structured pants that mimic the sofa, and we have on our gold wedge platform chunky heels that mimic that trunk case. We also have our chinoiserie jewelry. Check out the blue and white geometric floral patterns just like on the vase. And finally, we have our little number, our little gold and blue and green purse on the side because it's Vignette to Vogue, baby.